Higher education is so different than high school, and the curriculum alone is daunting for many students as they realize that they have thousands of different options available to them, especially when they first look at that college catalog. Not only do new freshmen get to choose their classes with a little bit of guidance from that academic advisor, but they even get to arrange their schedule. So we really want to look and see how we can use our college courses in strategic ways. So first, be sure that you don't overburden yourself in that first semester and be reasonable in selecting how many credits you take. I don't know how many times I've seen an incoming freshman decide they were going to take 18 to 21 credit hours and then simply not do well. Then they spend the rest of their college career trying to fix that first semester GPA. Check out and be realistic. Make sure that you understand what you can and cannot do. You want to know who you are. For instance, don't schedule yourself for a 7 a.m. class if you know that you're really not cognitive and aware until 8 a.m. Also, be sure that you don't schedule that class at 5:30 p.m. if you know you have to eat at 5. Also, check out that professor. Make sure that you know who is teaching the class. Some teachers are better than others, and there are wonderful websites and information that you can find out about the teacher. My favorite, though, is simply asking people who have been in the class before. And many times your academic advisor will be very honest and forthright with you and tell you which teacher and professor is the best. Take your prerequisites sooner than later. Just remember that, because you don't want to be that senior and not able to graduate because you're missing one vital class. And we've seen that happen as well, because you are waiting for a 385 class, but you have to take 285 first, but maybe it's only offered in the fall. It's really frustrating. So make sure that you can take care of that and do that. Next, get your requirements done. Make sure that you choose some fun courses in there too. But again, you want to get those requirements done sooner than later, because then at the very end of your career, oh, that's going to be so much better than having to get, 5 or 6 classes shoved in at one point. Make sure that also you have some classes that are fun and that also meet those elective requirements. And this is going to bring some extra vitality into your life and your week and give you something to look forward to. Also, avoid scheduling more than 3 classes back to back, simply because it takes a lot of time. And not only does it take a lot of time, but it really is going to make you exhausted. And you want to be able to have a little bit of time between each class so that you can review and ponder and look back and see what else you may have learned and be able to really think about how it integrates into prior knowledge. Lastly, make sure that you register on time, if not early. So many students will miss a class that they need because they put off registration. Make sure that you're not that student. Let's look at a few more things that you can really do that are going to boost your career and your academic life. Like, make sure that you save and have lighter loads for later in your academic career. And that's because you need to remember that right before you graduate, you're going to be job searching. I'll tell you, my husband talks about how when he was finishing up his academic career and getting ready to graduate, he had 17 interviews in 1 week. He didn't have time to worry about those really tough classes. Again, make sure that you block your hours. This is really important as you are getting ready to maybe have a work schedule or a club or whatever. But make sure that you block your classes into times where you are able to really look at and to study the best. For instance, I know that I don't like to study very well, and my brain just doesn't work, let's be honest, between about 1 and 3. So between 1 and 3 would be a really horrible time for me to decide to do a class. Instead, I tried to block my classes so that between 1 and 3, I could give my brain a rest. Be sure that you visit with your professors about options. And we're talking about options in choosing your college course as well as the class you're taking. I always got some great information from my instructors on how to succeed in their course. And then I always said, I really enjoyed your course. What would you suggest? Or I really like this aspect of your class or this part of academic life, what class would you suggest, or what professor do you think would be great? Now, don't forget those credits that you took in high school. Those are really important. And generally, you want to get those sent over before you even start school. But also don't forget those early placement exams. There are a lot of credit exams that you can take on college campuses now. Be sure that you look through their website and see what options that they have. You might be able to take an exam and pass it, and you get 3 credits towards graduation and not even have to pay for it. It's kind of like bonus credits towards graduation.